Hello, my name is Jake. I'm a Helldiver, much like yourself. Did you come here being bored of using guns all the time? You want to come close and personal with all the enemies of democracy? Well, you came to the right guy, and I'll be turning you into a fine spot in Helldiver. Now follow along. But first, right, there are 3 essential items that you need if you want to make melee viable by any means. First, you need the Peak Physique passive, which increases melee damage by 100%. This passive can be obtained by either buying the Viper Commander's Warbond and unlocking the armor inside of it, or you can buy the armor that I'm wearing through the Superstore. Now, you can also get the armor passive known as Reinforced E-Pallets? Something like that, from the Masters of Ceremony Warbond. There's also the Superstore variant, though I will be frank, I don't know when that's coming back on the store. Now, you also need the Stun Lance, though that requires having the Urban Legends Warbond. And lastly, the final cornerstone of this entire build, the Ballistic Shield. And trust me, you're gonna be using it more than just fucking small arms fire. Even though I only mentioned 2 armor passives, I will only be talking about Peak Physique in this video. Because this armor passive is what I use for most of my loadouts, and having less drag on any weapon is a godsend. Reinforced E-Pallets isn't bad. The faster primary reload can be very helpful depending on what loadout you're going with. For the sake of simplicity and keeping this straightforward, I will assume you're using Peak Physique for this entire video. Is that clear? Other than that, let's start with the Terminid faction.
That ray cannon was... Oh.
I'm sorry?
What is that?
The Predators!
I'm taking y'all with me. Oh shit!
Hold on, I thought it would do it, but it's not.
The Taylor's dead.
Trouble in the breach.
They fall.
Anti-bonus stuff.
Ding. Done.
What? Did you enjoy that? Well, I hope you did. If not, well, touche, there's 2 more of those in this video. Otherwise, I guess let's get started. Here we have the trio of small guys on the Terminid front. We got the Scavenger, we got the, well, small Spewer, and then we got the Pouncer. All 3 of them, well, they all die in 1 hit, there's no question. Now, the most dangerous one out of all of them is the Spewer, as you can tell, because, well, he fucking explodes on you, and it takes, like, almost into your entire health bar, no matter what you're wearing. But there is a way to kill the bastard. Now, if you look at this clip here, I'm walking up to the little dude, and I just jab him, like, at his head, at, like, a fairly far distance. The spear can hit the guy just far enough where the explosion doesn't touch you, and even if it does, it goes on the shield and it wears it down just by like a little bit. So you're perfectly fine at that distance. Is this practical? I mean, kind of. It depends, depending on what situation you're in. If you got like 10 of these little shits and you got nothing to deal with them, not even your, I don't know, a cookout, a gun, anything, and the melee is your only option, it is one way of doing it. So here you see me walk up to the warrior and just jab him in the head real quick. This warrior in the back in particular died due to being stunned and bleeding out from the headshot, which, well, we could apply that to every warrior in the game. And yes, even the Spore warrior. If you hit him in the head, he bleeds out and he doesn't explode. Upcoming is the Charger. He is probably the most fun enemy in the game to fight in melee. Like, the shit you can pull off makes you feel like such a badass. The best way I can describe fighting this Charger in this clip is that as soon as he charges into you, you have to somehow hit his leg and hug into him so he doesn't launch you into the fucking stratosphere. If you manage to stun a Charger by hitting one of his legs, it'll take about 6 hits to kill them.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, brother.
Oh my god. I might be dead.
Now, the Hive Guard, and probably the most annoying one to fight in the entirety of Melee besides flesh mobs. After stabbing the Shrieker in the air, I run up to the Hive Guard, stab him in the leg, and you can see him moving forward, and as I hit him multiple times, and he doesn't get knocked back. The stun effect is there, but he doesn't get knocked back, because, well, he has an animation of moving forward when his leg is stabbed. You could also hit them in the mouth, and that would probably kill them in one shot, though I will be frank, I never tried it, because it's far too fucking time consuming to hit something that precise. Next up, we have the Alpha Commander. If wearing peak physique and using the stun lance, you can stab this guy 2 times in the head, and his head pops, and he's stunned long enough to just die. Otherwise, it'll take 4 hits at the minimum if you're not wearing peak physique. Similar to the Hive God earlier, I attempted to do the same thing with the Alpha Commander, and to be fair, it does work if you ignore the fact that the charger slammed me. Now, the true question is this practical? And honestly, I couldn't really tell you. I've only started doing this recently, and most of the time it kinda works. Though, if you're in a situation where you're fucking surrounded, you're better off just stabbing them in the head twice really quickly and running off. Next up, whether you love it or hate it, we are fighting the Stalkers next. There's 2 variants. We got the Predators and we got the Stalkers themselves. Now, they have one very, well, not easy, but very crucial weak point where you can one-shot them, as presented by this next clip.
Requesting air support. Bug outpost spotted. Eagle 1 in enemy combat zone to resupply.
Right, Christ. Bastard. Now, as you've seen from this clip, there is one very crucial thing that you need to understand if you're trying to do this consistently. You need to aim high. Let me show you what I mean in this screenshot. Right, so if you look at this screenshot, at the tip of the spear, it is directly in the mouth of the Stalker. The other reason one-shot them in the first place is because they only have 175 HP in the face with no armor durability and level 1 armor, so you can hit them with anything. Thank you, Helldivers Wikipedia. The same thing also goes for Predator Stalkers as seen by this clip.
Are you done?
I'm gonna dynamite them.
As you can see, same result, the bastard never stood a chance. Next up, we have the bane of everyone's existence, both in melee and both in range, the Hunters and their variants. Now, there's nothing particular about these Hunters that I can really show you. They die to 1 hit in the face and then 2 to 3 body shots. But what I can show you is a particular situation for when they jump at you, you have very limited options. Either you shoot them in the face, somehow melee them with your gun, or, look at this clip real quick. Now, at most, if you're unable to hit them in the face when they jump at you, they will either hit your shield and you'll be perfectly fine, or at least you will do some damage by hitting their body. Now, obviously, between these 3 variants, there are different levels of danger, the one being the Predator Hunter being the most dangerous because, well, they go around you, they have fighting tactics, and they go invisible. They also have the ability to spit acid at the end of their combo. When it comes to Predator Hunters, I will show you later with what I use to fight him personally, but they do require a different mindset compared to every other faction. When you fight with melee, you're most definitely going to die, and you're most definitely going to be frustrated. And to be fair, I did too. I've been playing melee for maybe 100 hours at this point. Right, up and coming, and the last one in the... Oh wait, no, fuck, we still got the Impaler. Moving on though, we have none other than the Shrieker. Oh, I fucking hate these guys. Now, you have only 2 options to deal with them. Either you melee them out the sky 1 by 1 as they charge you, or you can shoot them out the sky. Rick? Sorry, I really needed to show you the whole clip for that one. I really hate these guys. Now, as for our next enemy, we have the Impaler, and, well, there's only really one way to deal with him. As you see me struggling, trying to kill this guy, it takes about 8 hits with the spear and peak physique to kill this guy. Now, the Impaler does have a weakness. You have to hit his forehead, but with a gun primarily. I've tried melee, you can look at his clip, I assure you, it was genuine ass, and it took more than 8 hits. By the time this Impaler was dead, I assure you, I would have had grandkids by now. Wait, what do you mean this isn't the last enemy? What do you mean there's one more guy? He's behind me, isn't he? Besides the fact that I don't need to pull out the obvious truth that you indeed cannot kill a battle type with a stick. I mean, look at this clip. We're gonna move on swiftly and talk about the actual last enemy that I forgot to mention, the Ball Spewer and his little brother. Now, when fighting Ball Spewers, you cannot let them spit on your shield, as much as you can anyway, because, well, take a look at this clip.
Oh shit, not good.
Now, as you can see, it has somewhat damaged the shield, not significantly, and there are times where you can block an attack without taking damage. I'm not sure how this works. Now, this scene is a little bit chaotic, but what you need to know is that it takes 3 spear hits to the head with peak physique to kill them. I believe I've managed to cover all of the Terminid family, aside from the Spore variants, and honestly I don't think we'll be seeing them anytime soon. As for the second faction we'll be discussing in this video, it'll be none other than the Illuminate. I hope you enjoy the montage.
I'm gonna strafing run because there's a bunch there.
Oh fuck.
Sorry.
You know, I still feel really bad about what I did in that last clip, but like, how is that my fault? Like, how would I have known that would have happened? Moving on swiftly though, let's talk about the most basic infantry unit they have, the Voteless. There are 3 versions of the Voteless. There's the light version, the medium, and the heavy. I cannot find images for the medium or heavy, but there's only one thing you need to know, and they all go down the same. Go for the head. Just take a good look at this clip. The only problem with Voteless when using a spear type weapon in melee is that they can jump around, run around, kind of dodge your attacks, swing at you, and even bypass your shield sometimes by jumping at it. Now, if you find managing a crowd is really hard using a lance, you could switch out for a sword, but that does mean you're going to be trading off precision for white swings instead. Another thing you'll also be trading off is the ability to stun enemies, which is a big part of doing melee, because without that stun, you're basically done for. With 6,000 health, the same as a Baal Titan, he spawns in level 1 of all places, giving all newbies who play the Illuminate for the first time a very, very hard time. Any Xbox players watching this video, I hope when you come by to us in August, I hope you don't choose the Illuminates as your first one to fight. Even with the stun ability from both the stun lance and the flag of super, this bastard will not stay still because he has something known as a berserk mode. But because you have him stunned for the first time, he can only ever move forward. Now this does mean you can chase him down and kill him, though I will be frank, with about 6,000 health, the same as a Baal Titan, let me be honest with you don't want to be doing that. You're better off stunning the guy a bunch of times with your spear and then start shooting him with anything. Machine gun, eruptor, orbital strike, whatever, man. Throw your destroyer at it. Do whatever it takes to kill them, man, because if there's too many of them, they will slap you out of the map board. Now, as I said, these guys have 6,000 health, extremely chunky. It will take about 32 hits or something along those numbers just to kill it by itself. Just one flesh mob. So honestly, stun it, run away, and shoot it with something till it's dead. Now, for our next enemies that we will discuss are the Overseers and their 3 variants. We got the one with a big stick who will shoot you with the big stick and slap you with the big stick. We have the Rat in the Sky who shoots what is basically a plasma scorcher and flies around like a fucking rat. Then for the final one, we have the Mortar Dude who is basically shooting a fuel rod from Halo Reach. Now, besides the big rat in the sky, these other 2 variants can be dealt with very easily. You may have noticed when watching the montage. Now if you go for the head, it will take 2 hits with the spear to kill them, otherwise 3 to 5 hits on the main body. The Overseers, I believe, are the only enemy in the game where if you hit them and they get knocked back, they don't go very far, which allows you to step in with the spear and keep hitting them till they are dead. Other than what I just said earlier, I don't think there's much to the Overseers. You can kill them very easily. The rats in the sky you can also kill by meleeing them, though they would have to be low enough for you to do that in the first place. Now, for the final enemy in the game that you can actually melee, and no, we are not going to speak of the Leviathan or the Flying Jets, because they are impossible to hit, and even if you could get on the slow flying Leviathan, you can't even stab it. Now, back on topic, we're going to talk about the Harvester, and honestly, you can kill him pretty easily, if you're able to avoid its shocks. It takes about 7 to 8 hits, similar to the Impaler, to kill the Leviathan, assuming you're wearing peak physique and using the lance to hit him in the first place. And to be fair, you should think of this as a last resort, and only if there's only one Harvester. If you're planning to take on multiple, well, I wish you luck in that endeavor.
Has a statue or whatever in the biggest city. It would be cool.
Now, let's go to the final faction, and honestly the most anti-melee faction I've ever had the pleasure of fighting. There are ways, and there are niche situations. I will show as many of them as I can. Honestly, there isn't much to them. Let's just get started, and to be fair, I don't even have a montage for this, but here's what I have, little.
I know what they're thinking though.
I'm dead.
You're not.
But I'm not gonna be fighting in a minute. Oh god.
That. Oh! Keep running. It's okay. See?
It will get both. Oh!
Goodbye, people! Ow! My legs. Well then. Well, as you see in that little compilation of mine, it's not looking too good now, is it? On the Automaton front, there's about 6 different infantry types, and they have one sub-faction known as the Incineration Corps. Now, forgive me if my voice cracks a little, because there's going to be a mouthful. They have the Brawler, the Commissar, the Marauder, the MG Raider, the Rocket Raider, and the Trooper. Right, so the basic Trooper doesn't really pose any threat. He's just a small little guy with an assault rifle. You can kill him pretty easily, just one hit from the spear. The Brawler, as it suggests, he brawls. He's got 2 little swords on his hands, and he will try to slap you in the face, and you can slap him back just as hard, if not harder. Now, the Commissar is a hardcore fan of the Star Wars Clone Wars series, where he tries to be Commando Fordo, though he cannot be, because he's a little shit. He will die just like the rest, just give him one whack with the spear. Let's talk about both the Marauder and the MG Raider. They both are pretty dangerous, can kill a Helldiver in one burst, and honestly, the most I can say, don't get too close to them if you can, if not shoot them from afar. If you attempt to melee the MG Raider in specific, he's got something on his back which will explode and set you on fire, so I don't really recommend. The Rocket Raider hurts pretty bad if he hits you with his rocket. If it hits the body, it's not too bad. If it hits your head, it's pretty bad. And if he hits you and smacks you against the wall, then it's pretty fucking bad, I assure you. Now, don't ever let these guys catch you from long distance, because they are terrifying when they're long distance. Their aim is shit, but it's even worse when they do hit you with their shit aim. Unfortunately, these sub-factions have fucked off permanently as far as I can tell, because the Helldivers are doing such a good job with their major orders recently that I can't get you any footage. You can go search up on YouTube of someone diving these sub-factions specifically if you want to see what they're made of. But other than that, in the next few minutes of this video, everything I say, you're just going to have to take my word for it. Now, in this background footage, there is no melee, unfortunately. It's just me using a sniper. The Jet Brigade troopers are able to jump with their jetpacks very high and very far, so they can catch up to you in a matter of seconds and catch you unguarded if you're not being very careful. They're basically commissars with a blade and a pistol, wearing a jetpack, and honestly, there's not much to them. You can just melee them and they'll just die really easily. Just be careful not to hit the jetpack because it will explode and set you on fire, much like the MG Raider. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of the incineration corpse. Everything I say, you're gonna have to take it for my word. You're more than welcome to search up a YouTube video about them, but honestly, here's my take on it. Right, so the paratroopers who have a fuel pack on their back and a flamethrower to use, they will try and chase you down as much as they can before trying to flame you down. Now, if you attempt to melee these clankers, I assure you, they will explode and set you on fire. Definitely, there's no way to get away from that. I've talked about every infantry type that they have, so we're gonna move on swiftly to the Devastators, and there is a bunch of them. Here we have the normal Devastator, the heavy Devastator, the rocket Devastator, and the incendiary cousins. Now, the normal Devastator is the same as the trooper, it's just that he's bulkier, bigger, and he has more armor. With the spear, he will die to 4 hits in the stomach, so there's nothing too much to write home about him. Now, the heavy Devastator might seem terrifying, but there's a pretty easy way to deal with him. Go for his feet. Trust me, it's like the only thing that's exposed, and you can hit it pretty easily, much like in this clip. Now, for the rocket Devastators, honestly, not a big fan. Never been a big fan, even after their nerf. Pre-nerf, it was a fucking nightmare. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, whether it's a shield generator, the directional shield, or the ballistic shield. If one rocket hits any of them, you'll be sent flying across Narnia. They go down just as easily as the rest of the Devastators. 4 hits to the body, 1 hit to the head, nothing different. Now, their incendiary cousins are very different in terms of how they fight, but other than that, you can kill them just the same. Now, besides basic infantry troopers, Devastators, they are not the biggest problem, and honestly, you can deal with them whenever the situation calls for it. Oh no, our biggest problem are the Hulks, and let me tell you why, but first let's state their variants. First we have the Hulk Bruiser, the Hulk Obliterator, and the Hulk Scorcher. In the incendiary front we have the Hulk Firebomber, and oh would you look at that, in the Jet Brigade side is just a Hulk Scorcher with a fucking jetpack, isn't that lovely? Right, I'll just be frank with you, there is no way you can fight these Hulks in a straight up 1-to-1 fight. They have heavy armor all over their body and you cannot penetrate any of it with your spear. I've tried hitting the eye, trust me, it is super small, and even if I did hit it, I don't think it's done anything, it just deflected. Now, if you have no other weaponry to kill them and melee is your only option, try to go behind them and use the spear to stun them by hitting them in the heatsink. That is your only chance. Just be careful though, as soon as that heatsink explodes, you will fly away, not too far, but just enough to knock you over, and it might give the chance of anything else around you to kill you. Now, the only Hulk that you cannot kill with melee, no matter what, are the Jet Brigade Hulks. Because they have a jetpack instead of a heatsink in their back, you cannot penetrate it, no matter what. Now, unfortunately, when multiple Hulks come into play, melee is definitely not an option. It is a last resort, and if anything, if it is a last resort, stun them and run away as far as you can. Get some teammates, use another stratagem, anything. Now, I will not be discussing how these different variants fight, because there is no point. They either shoot a laser or a rocket or flame you to death. My only advice to all melee enthusiasts is, if you have no other option, take the fucking bastards with you. Now, as of the 15th of July, I would like to say a new enemy has entered the Automaton front. I repeat, a new enemy has entered the Automaton front. It looks like a fucking Metal Gear that's walking around, and yes, I've tried meleeing it. Take a look at this. Christ. Now, from what little I've experienced and trying to melee this guy, he is definitely armored up in the legs. There is no weak point, I assure you. I have tried and tested, it just won't work whatever you do. Now, this is another enemy that you want to keep at distance and try to blow it up with anti-tank primarily. I don't know how much health these guys have, but they definitely didn't go down in one quasar shot. They are capable of using both their cannons to shoot you down much like a Hulk and ragdoll you, and they also have the ability to shoot out grenades from their back. I'm sure a lot more smarter people will be able to tell you how to deal with these guys, but for now, on the melee side of things, it is a no-go, my good friend. Now, for some reason, I am unable to find a single fucking tank because of these walkers, so honestly, everything I say, take my word for it. I've tried everything to get them to be on the map, reinforcements, anything really, try to find them on specific missions, it just won't work. Now, for all automaton tanks, you can go ahead and destroy their tracks. They won't be able to move afterwards, that's the only thing I think you can damage. You can go for the back where basically their heatsink will be, and I think you can damage it. Honestly, I've never tried it because it takes way too long. This goes for all three tanks, the Annihilator, the Shredder, and the Barrage tank. All of them will go down the same. Honestly, I can't really tell you what to do, just run away and shoot them with anti-tank. For a while now, we've been talking nothing than just enemies we cannot fight with melee, unfortunately. But this next one you can definitely fight in melee. Though you would have to be careful depending on the variant you're fighting. This next enemy we're talking about is the Scout Strider and its two variants. On difficulty 6 and lower, you'll be fighting Scout Striders that have an exposed back. On difficulty 7 and above, you'll be fighting reinforced Scout Striders who have heavy armor plating all over the top and medium armor plating at the bottom. Now, both Striders will go down the same if you go for their stomach at the bottom. If it takes like 3 hits or something and they'll go down. You can also go for the legs and they'll go down just as fast. Just be careful when you're fighting the armored version, do not hit the rockets, cause they will send you flying, either that or it will straight up kill you. Now, the ultimate weapon of the automaton front, the Factory Strider. God, these guys were terrifying when I met them the first time, and they still are. Unfortunately, you cannot melee this automaton by any means. You can take a look at this clip. I've really tried, every part of his body is armored up. I've tried going for the stomach, which is medium armor, and honestly, you could damage it, though you're not tall enough and nor is the stick long enough to hit it. The one thing you can damage are the chain guns, but honestly, I'm not gonna try and show you that, cause it will just shoot me down instantly. And unfortunately, that's all I have for you for the automaton front. I wish I could give you some sort of secret technique, a method, anything, but that's just the cold hard truth on the automaton front for melee enthusiasts. Now, let's talk about loadouts real quick, and honestly, I'll just give you some very quick ones, cause this video is long enough as it is. Now, as you saw with the automatons, I'm not gonna give you a loadout for those guys. You can do whatever you wish on that. I still bring a spear with me for those very niche situations where I have to melee. Now, because you will almost always have a ballistic shield, mainly for the Terminds in the Illuminate, your support weapon can be anything really, depending on what your team is missing. If your team is missing anti-tank, bring an EAT, a Quasar, an anti-tank emplacement, anything that can deal with the big guys. If your team needs one more crowd controller, bring a Stalwart, a machine gun, a heavy machine gun, turrets, anything that deals with hundreds of enemies at the same time. The most important thing you need to understand is that your ballistic shield will do everything it can to protect you. If using a two-handed weapon, your ballistic shield goes on your back, which protects you from anything that is either shooting at you, trying to melee you, or hurt you in any way. Now, unlike many other support weapons, the ballistic shield only has a 5-minute cooldown when you unlock it for the first time, so you can get it back very often. If you unlock all the ship module upgrades, it cuts down to 4 minutes and something. The ballistic shield is very tough, and it has level 4 armor, so most things can't even graze it. The other weapon in your arsenal is the stun lance. Treat it well, and it will treat you well. You can kill almost everything in the game, much like you've seen in this video. Melee is a very unforgiving place, where most things can stomp you in one go, but you're fast and nimble, and you're more than capable of outsmarting the enemies of democracy. If you feel like you've learned something and you're a lot more confident with how to deal with the enemies of liberty using your stun lance and trusty ballistic shield, get down there then and go murder them all. Other than that, I will maybe see you on the battlefield. Until then. You're my bestie. I love your shield. Please marry me.
Oh.
Me with the autocannon.
Oh, we did